Alright. This is the Singerlight for that 101, and it is time to pause and do a little bit of wiring before we continue assembling that. These videos are coming out on a schedule, but in regular time, it's been about a week of working on this machine. So this style of Singerlight has a clamp pin on the back to hold it in place. The adjustable shade, the Singerlight, not a Singerlight, has a pin here, and then when you rotate it, it locks on. To slide it off, you turn it around to match that bump and the slot. Now that that's out of the way, I'm going to put a long tail on this because I did look up the manual, and the wiring on this machine is on this cabinet was partially correct, but needs to get fixed. So these tails have to be long to get everything back where it belongs. But my let's see. As with any of these old lamp fixtures, get any of the tiny screws out of them first, and then see about popping them apart, because a lot of them are snap fit together, but they may have a tiny screw or two that is helping hold them in place. Oh, and this one's got two. So this one's not even snap fit together. This is two screws holding it. Obviously, the crimped together snap fit ones are cheaper and easier to produce. And I already took this nut off the back side here, so when we tug like so, it should allow the wiring to come out the top. Oh, well, I say top because I'm used to that style of fixture, but let's see. Cardboard insulator. Alright. This is cloth insulated wire in here, so I know. Well, first things first, we're gonna detach this from the sides here. Get the fixture off of whatever this wire is. Because obviously it's cloth insulated on the inside and then rubber coming out the back, so there's a non-zero chance there's a set of there's a splice inside here somewhere. Because the cloth insulated wire would be the correct wire, since that's what was on the or what's still on the motor. I'm going to take, so normally I don't think I would have to undo this screw, that the set screw here for the lamp base, because all that does is hold the lamp base in place on this nut. But if I take that off, then maybe I can see better what oh yeah, electrical tape all wedged up in there. So they put that electrical tape in, wedged it in place, and then put the lamp base back on. Alright, cool. So we'll throw that wire out. And this piece should be fine to be just in there when we reassemble it, and the lamp base can actually just be in place when we put the wire back in, because if you use lamp gauge wire, it will slip through all this without any trouble. So just tighten that down and get our set screw in place on that. And then this bit of phenolic cardboard in the base looks good. So we'll just take our new wire that's thin and put it up through the bottom here. And then split a teeny bit. Let me measure on our base here. Oh, we need to split a little bit further. So I'm trying not to split this too far. So I put the lamp on, or the wire on the center of the base, and I kind of poke it up around the edges to see how far it curls. Because the key to making this tidy is keeping it from getting split too far. You can always obviously split the wire further, and part of the reason that redoing these lamps with the cloth insulated individual wires is just that it's easier to work a single wire than it is to work with the two stuck together. But all right. When you put wire under any screw terminal, you want it to be wrapped the right way, quote-unquote right way, so that when you tighten, you're turning the screw clockwise and it pulls the wire up around clockwise into the terminal. That way, even when it does something like this where it squishes the wire out a little bit, it's still pulling the wire tighter into the terminal. If you wrap the wire the other direction, when you turn the screw to tighten it, it works the wire off of the terminal, and it also spreads all of that, spreads all the wires around and makes them into a big splayed mass, so that they're impossible to tuck back in anywhere. So, got my tiny screwdriver to tuck the wires in, and then when I tighten this and it squeezes a little bit, there's still copper wire can just get tucked right onto the terminal instead of going other places. So, check our thing looks good there. And we've got the insulator here that came out of our socket. Put that back in place, and it's got the notches for the screws on the side and a hole for the pull string. So when we put our socket back on, we need to poke our pull cord through the hole here on the side, and all right, and then the lamp hangs off the back of the machine like so, which means I want to put it together facing this way with the pull cord dangling down. And then we'll put our 2 tiny set screws in to hold the lamp together. And whoever did this the first time, I don't know why they would have wrapped all that electrical tape in there. They clearly had this socket apart far enough to have gotten to the screw terminals and just put the wire on the screw terminals, but who knows? But so fresh wire, and it's a long enough tail that it will go down through the machine and cabinet when we get this to assembling. Actually, I don't remember if I pulled that out through the machine. And then I need to put extensions on the motor as well, because I cut these wires off when I was removing it. This seems to be in good shape. There's no indication on this section of cloth wire that there's any damage further up into this other protective tube. So I'm not gonna remove this. If you thought there was damage, there's a screwdriver, or there's a set screw here, and it clamps this metal end of other end of the thing here. But like I said, I don't suspect there's any damage in there, so I'm not going to take that out if I don't have to. I will, however, get my heat shrink and heat shrink this extension on tail on before I put the motor back in the machine.